Hello. I am not sure whether this is recording, but I'm so concerned what is happening in Australia. I'm 72 years of age and I just can't believe what's happening in Australia in the year 2021, country where our freedoms have been taken away. This is a new reset. This is a country where those in charge, police commissioners, so-called health experts, advisors and premiers, instruct us to on our fellow citizens, all for our own good, all in the name of fighting the spread of COVID-19. We now have two-tiered citizenship, those who are vaxxed and those who are not vaxxed. Perhaps the latter should go round with a yellow star sewn to their breasts. This country is hopelessly in debt, which grows by day. The premiers have become power drunk, show no compassion, no understanding, lie, and are corrupt. Our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, does nothing. He does not lead when he should. Is he just too weak, or is he a willing part of the whole rotten system? When the Australian Constitution is abused, he says not a word other than, "There's nothing I can do," even though he can use the High Court. That is what it's there for, interpreting the Australian Constitution. The premiers, I never thought I'd see Australia come to this. We live in a world that is beyond imagining a few years ago. A country where police brutality bash fellow citizens while being selective on who can hold demonstrations and who cannot. Compare the treatment between the approach to Black Lives Matter and the brutal repression of the freedom marchers and workers. The police, too, are drunk on their newfound power. They've forgotten their oath and have become nothing but agents of the governments who are corrupt and sinister. I wonder what those who sacrificed their lives in war would think of the new Australia. I wonder what they think of the mediocre creatures that control our lives called politicians. To be fair, a few are standing up for the people, like Pauline Hanson, Mark Latham, Craig Kelly, Campbell Newman, George Christensen, and Malcolm Roberts. Too few in number. The majority will do what their party will tell them to do. This is the weakness of the party political system. Why do we keep on voting for the same old parties? Liberal, Labor, National, and Greens. After all, they are the ones who have destroyed this nation of ours. They are all globalists believing in the one world government. They've been taken up on the mountain and sold their souls to the devil. In the meantime, people suffer. Suicides are up. Mental health is up. Bankruptcies are up. Business closing down. And people struggle financially. Kids can't play in the parks. Curfews. What nonsense is this? And we're all forced to have a jab. Families cannot visit each other, cannot attend funerals, and children are separated from their parents. People cannot attend religious services. This is crazy and callous. What was it the ex-president of the United States, Ronald Reagan, said? The most dangerous 10 words in the English language is, "I am from the government. I'm here to help you." Governments are not here to help us. They are here to entrench their own power, which is usually at the expense, or always at the expense, of the people. Remember the section in the Bible when the people screamed and demanded to have government run by mortals. It was the prophet Samuel who warned them of the dangers awaiting them. 1 Samuel 8. Fellow prophet Jeremiah was to write, "The heart is wicked above all things. Who can know it?" 17:9. And so it is with human nature, not to serve, but to be served. Our premiers, little people who have no souls, fulfil the status. In my opinion, and I hope I'm wrong, but Australia is, to put it crudely, stuffed. But there is something more here than just Australia. It is a worldwide phenomenon that is going on. Repression throughout the Western world is working to an agenda. Those in charge are evil in extreme. Much of the mainstream media are cooperating with us, mouthing the government line that we all need to give up our freedoms for the betterment of all, but with no clear indication when those freedoms will be given back, which will be never. We have entered a new era, a dark era, where thuggery and brainwashing is the order of the day. Sadly, most people comply, but there are a few who lead, who are brave, and who believe we are free individuals. God has given us our freedom, not governments. We choose how we live. All this cannot be happening by accident. It is by design. Premiers, prime ministers, and even presidents are just puppets, serving those behind the scenes, the cabals who are calling the shots, the billionaires, the bankers, financiers, and corporate giants. And as for the ordinary politician, he or she, again, are just puppets, but lower down on the chain. Well, the useful idiots are the brainless robots that implement their will without knowing it in every facet of society. But there is hope, there's always hope. The best laid plans of mice and men often go astray. There is an inbuilt passion within human beings for freedom. We have seen tyranny come and go throughout history, and freedom reasserts itself. Comes at a price, usually by the few sacrificing themselves for the benefit of many. I believe good will prevail in the end. I do recall that line in the movie Never Ending Story, when the young boy confronted the savage, horrible beast. Is there a hidden message here? Who said, I am just a messenger? Adding, when people believe in nothing, they're easier to control. That's where we are now, isn't it? Our beliefs, our heritage, our religions are mocked and discarded. People do not believe in anything anymore. Thus, they're easier to control with myths like global warming and that we're all going to die because of the virus if we do not do as we are told. That's a pair of beings, after all, the political elite. Yet we are all in it together, which is just sheer nonsense and hypocritical. Stand firm. Do not compromise. Keep your faith and trust. Attributes will lead to victory. Whereas when the people are constantly being fed a message of fear, just remember that is because the political elite fear the people.